happy life, happy journey. So glad. Guess where I'm at? I'm at Rhythmia. I'm at Rhythmia. Just got here, just flew in, and boy, are my arms tired. But I'm bummed. I'm a little goofy today because I'm full of all this wonderful energy. It is windy down here in Costa Rica. Sunny, warm, and windy. The winds have changed. They are a-blowing. And we are all looking for some real love. Tell you about some real love. Yeah. That's what we're going to be talking about today is real love. But before we talk about real love, I want to tell you, first of all, thank you so much for joining. I'm so grateful that you all are streaming in to our loving room here at Rhythmia. And I want to tell you about Rhythmia. We are open. We're sold out next week, right? Already. So book your stay. I flew down, easy to fly. Easy to get into Costa Rica. You don't have to take a test or anything to get into Costa Rica. When you get here, we give you a COVID test so that everybody that comes on property is tested and guaranteed negative. And then we do temperature checks twice daily. All the staff is checked. Everybody's checked. So you can come down and have this pre-COVID experience at Rhythmia. It's amazing. It's remarkable. Hey, shout out to Colette. What's up, Claudia? Hello, Jack. Ali, so great to have you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. So I'm just telling you about Rhythmia. Like it is, obviously we can't guarantee anything, right? In these days, we know that there's no guarantees, but we're doing about 400% more than anybody else that I know of. In fact, I don't know of any resort anywhere that pre-tests their guests before coming on property. And then once you're here, you are, yes, Stacy, come on down and see us. It is priceless, this experience. And there are different rooms, right? So you can get different rooms where the prices go from, $3,500 up or, basically come down. It's worth it. Okay, so I want to get into the talk today and tell you about what we're talking about. Did I finish everything I needed to tell you about Rhythmia? That we're open, that we're safe, that we're testing everybody before they get here, and that we also, to get back into the United States, you need to have a PCR test. And we do that right on property. You don't even have to leave property. And then we keep the campus closed. We're a limited access campus, which means there's very limited egress and regress, but we're an all-inclusive retreat. So you're basically here, you're busy during the week. So you can book a couple days after and go explore Costa Rica. But when you're here, and that helps us keep it safe so that you can have this pre-COVID experience at Rhythmia where you don't have to social distance and people can hug, you can touch people, you can be in the sauna, you can be in the pool, you can be in classes. It's beautiful. So all of it's done here. And, it's like you can check in, but you can't check out. Well, the truth is that the same person never checks out at Rhythmia. You are 100% different when you check out than the person who checked in. So you're going to check in and that person is never going to check out again because somebody new is emerging. That's why you got to get down here, baby. Okay. So let's see. Shout out to Margarita Flores. Hello. Hola. Bienvenidos, hermana. So I'm looking down here because my screen is here. The camera's here. Screen is here. So when you see me look down, I'm looking at the chat. Michaela, hello. We do have a scholarship program. It's been put on pause for the COVID period because it's pretty tight right now. We're kind of touch and go. Everything's going to be great, but it's just hard right now for any business. And Jerry's kept us all employed, kept paying everybody. So we need to get more people down here so we can keep everybody on the payroll and start our scholarship program again. So hang on there, Michaela. And Ron, shout out. You can stay longer than a week. Many times people book 2 weeks. Fawn, great to see you. I'm glad. I'll see you in November. Lorraine, hello. Flight tomorrow. I'll see you there. Woohoo! And Maria Ola from Chicago, South Side. And Angela, thank you. Come down. And Fawn. Yes, thank you. Okay, today's topic, real love. I'm searching for that real love. What is real love? Okay, actually, I have some notes. I want to share with you, today's topic came through. I'm always listening. right? Like, what is it? Like, I can, from my mind, come up with a topic, right? But when I'm really attentive and listen, something wants to come through. And sometimes, most of the time, it is kind of what I was thinking, but I would take it down a different path. But when I go, oh, there's an idea, and then I kind of let that idea lead me, it always ends up way better than I could have ever imagined. And that's how we are when we're in flow with spirit, when we're in flow with God, when we're in flow with the intuitive wisdom. Einstein says that that the analytical mind is a faithful servant, and that the heart, the intuitive center, is a divine gift. And we have placed the servant in charge of the gift. And we want to write that because we don't want to discard our analytical mind. It's so valuable. It's so fruitful. It's so beneficial. It helps us. It serves us, right? In so many ways, how to navigate this world. But when it's in charge, we tend to be locked into lower vibrational thought forms. When we allow our intuitive self to guide us, when we allow life to lead us, and then have the analytical mind in service to that divine vision, man, we're firing on all 8 cylinders. Okay, so real love. Real love. Erica's coming March 13th. Awesome. Angela, someone to set my heart free. That's real love. Well, that someone is you. That's true. Okay, this is what I want to talk about. A quote from M. Scott Peck. There's a great book entitled The Road Less Traveled. It's probably 25 or 35 years old, something like that. But I love the book. And M. Scott Peck wrote this. I was reading it on the plane on the way in. Mystical ecstasy. Do you want some mystical ecstasy? I want some mystical ecstasy. Woo-hoo! Woo! Give me that. Mystical ecstasy. Oh, Lord. Okay. Mystical ecstasy and lasting enlightenment. True spiritual growth. So mystical ecstasy and lasting enlightenment are true spiritual growth and can be achieved only through the persistent exercise of real love. Mystical ecstasy, true spiritual growth, lasting enlightenment can only be achieved through the persistent exercise of real love. That's from M. Scott Peck, The Road Less Traveled, page 97, if you want to look it up. So how are we going to heal ourselves? Ernest Holmes, another brilliant metaphysician and mystical magi, great master teacher. Ernest Holmes says, how are we going to heal ourselves and others? First, by becoming convinced that love is a principle of nature. How do we know that love is a principle of nature? I want to say shout out to Carrie from New Zealand, Debbie, yes, Angela, Lorraine. Give me some mystical ecstasy. I know, touch myself. Woo! Okay, so how do we know that love is the principle of nature, right? Like, it's like great to say, John, that love is a principle of nature, but how do you know? Here's how I know. Here's how I have to locate myself in something that I can touch and feel and understand to get to the mystical. To get past the limited thought forms that keep me from seeing all that is. So I'll just share with you, for me, I see life as a gift, right? That this is a gift. We've been given this life, and it is freely given. No condition. There's no selection. You and I can do whatever we want. If we wanted, we could be a drug addict, we could be a thief, we could be Hitler, we could be a warlord. It could be anything. Just out for the money. We could be, Wolf of Wall Street, or whatever it is. Or we could be Mother Teresa. We could be Mahatma Gandhi. We could be Martin Luther King Jr. Who do you want to be? We could be a great mother. We could be a great brother. We could be a great father. We could be a great business person. Whatever it is, it's up to us. There's no limitation on who we can become. Pericles, this was one of my mother's favorite quotes. Pericles was a great statesman from Athens. So this is like 300 BC, maybe 800 to 300 BC, somewhere in there. I can't remember exactly. The golden age of Athens, but definitely BC. Pericles said, who we are, we owe to those who came before us. what we become, we owe to ourselves. We have the becoming, right? That's us. That's us. So how do I know that the principle of nature is love? It is that we are given the gift. I can say to myself, I've been given this gift of life. It is a gift, and I can do whatever I want. I can wallow in self-pity and victimhood. I could be selfless. I could be selfish. I could be whatever I want. No condition. Nobody's saying this is who you have to be. You can be whatever you want. I could be wallowing in the pit of despair. I could be wallowing in addiction. I could be wallowing in, or I could be anything. The gift is freely given. Are we gracious enough to receive it? That's really the question. So how do I know that the nature of the universe is loving? It is that the gift of life is given with no selection and no condition. That's called unconditional love. That is an unconditional state. There's no condition on a gift that's given. That's unconditional love. So that's how I know that the universe is loving. That's how I know that the nature and principle of life is love. And the purpose, what is our purpose? Each one of us has a different purpose. Each one of us has a different purpose, specific, that can come through us, but all of us have the same general purpose, which is to perfect our loving, to become more loving in our hearts. True spiritual growth and that mystical ecstasy that we all want to get a little piece of is through the persistent exercise of real love. We must extend, and what is love? M. Scott Peck in that same book describes love. This is the best definition of love that I've ever heard. I've kind of pieced it together from lots of sections of the book. He kind of amplifies it. So it's kind of a paraphrasing of a bunch of stuff that I read through the book. But he says that in essence, love is the extension of oneself for the genuine care and nurturing of your own and then another's spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. Let me say that again. Love is the extension of oneself for the genuine care and nurturing of your own and then another's spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. Let's break that down. Break it down. Let's break. I'm just goofy today. Woo! Okay, break it down. Love is the extension of oneself. So love is an extension of oneself. Love is moving beyond our current ego boundaries, right? Moving beyond my current comfort zone. That means that love isn't when I feel like loving. That's not love. That's something else. Love is the extension of oneself. When I love somebody, when it's like, oh my God, I just love them, there's something in me that sees something in them and they reflect back to me that place of self-love. So all love is self-love. Let me just really think about that. I think that's true. Stuff's just coming out, so I'm trusting it's true. Spirit, baby, move through me. I'm open and available to more intuitive guidance than I've ever received before. There's a divine intelligence moving through each one of us, and we are sourced by an infinite power, and we are guided by an infinite intelligence, and we are guarded by an infinite love. Okay, I'm back on track. So what I can say is that when you love somebody, there's something in them that reflects back to that part that you love about yourself. They're a placeholder for self-love to a certain degree. So loving is an extension of oneself, moving beyond my current ego boundaries to love, extending beyond my comfort zone. That's loving when it doesn't feel good to, or when I don't feel like loving. Loving when I don't feel like loving, that's love. That's moving beyond. So love is an extension. Love is extension of beyond my current formation, beyond zone. That's loving. Love is an extension of oneself for the care and nurturing of first your own and then another's spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. Why first your own? Because if you are loving someone before yourself, we call that codependent. That dependency means that I derive my value, my my worth from loving, from you reflecting back to me love, right? That I'm not, and I need your love. I'm dependent on it for my own validation. So that's dependency. But when I love myself first, when I'm taking care of my own genuine, when I'm taking care of my own mental, physical, and spiritual well-being, then I'm whole. And the wholeness in me meets the wholeness in you. That is a powerful relationship. That is the extension of oneself for the genuine care and nurturing of my own and then another's spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. This is what real love is. All right, let me go back. Petra from Switzerland, love you and great to see you. And thank you for those beautiful pictures of that winter wonderland you sent. Karina and, oh, wow. Trolla a Cristo. Am I saying that right? Welcome. Shout out to Robin. Shout out to Brooke. What's up, Brookie? Dina, hello. Susanna, great, great, great. Dee, beautiful. Glad that you guys are here. So, so our purpose then in this gift of that we are given a life is to perfect our loving and our own spiritual growth and development, our own ecstasy, mystical ecstasy, and our own lasting enlightenment comes from the persistent application of love. Okay? The exercise of real love, which is moving beyond my current comfort zone to become more loving in my heart. Because the truth is that to love when it's hard to love is to see the God principle in the other. This is what we must do, is to see the truth of our oneness, even though everything in life trumpets that we're separate. How are we one? You're where you are in Houston or Switzerland or the Netherlands or New Zealand, right? And I'm here in Costa Rica. How are we one? The principle is that there's a universal energy in back of everything. Behind, underneath, all around, in, through, and as everything. And it is from that invisible, formless source that all of life emerges. And it outpictures in various ways. So there's a singularity that expresses in various ways. That's not just woo-woo, shamanic, new thought, new age BS. That is the first law of the first law of thermodynamics, which is energy is neither created nor destroyed, but transferred or conveyed into various forms. So there's a singular energy that was always there. First law of thermodynamics, energy is neither created nor destroyed. It was always there. There was never a before. Energy was there, always. Wrap your mind around that. That's eternal. Eternal isn't a bunch of time put together. Eternal is outside of time and space. That's eternal. We're trying to talk about it in a finite mode of language, which makes it really hard. And we think in language, so we have to kind of wrap our minds around it in a different way, through plant medicine, through meditation, through prayer, through mystical ecstasy. Woo, give me some of that mystical ecstasy. Okay, so I'm getting crazy, peoples. All right, so here's an example. How do I love when it's hard to love? How do I see the God principle, the principle of love in everyone, even when I don't want to? Because there's some people trust and believe I don't want to be around and you don't want to be around. Doesn't mean that they're not from the same energy. They're just vibrating at a different frequency. And sometimes I don't want to vibrate like that. That's okay. At the same time, we can be loving to them. There's a difference between a love object, like I love you particular, versus the love. Deepak Chopra, I was at a talk that he gave one time, and he was talking about love, and he said, you know, my love is like the heat of a fire. It is denied to no one, yet focused on no one. I'm just admitting love. I can love that person even though I don't want to hang around them. I can still be loving. Doesn't mean I need to like be their best friend. There's a difference. So how do we feel this energetic difference? How do we become attuned to the infinite? Attuned to the infinite principle of God, the infinite principle of light, the infinite principle of love that's within each person. Otherwise, they couldn't be. If the principle of nature is love and each person is loving, then and each person is created in love. Even if their outward expression isn't a deep realization of the truth of who they are, there's a mistake there. There is a miscarriage of justice, if you will, when they're not living in alignment with the truth of who they are. And that's when people run into a lot of stuff, right? They're running into lots of, life is difficult, right? When we're aligned, we're in the zone, we're in flow, we're in tune with the infinite. So I can see someone who might be out of tune with the infinite, someone who might be vibrating at a frequency that I'm not digging, but I can still love them. Now, let's make it real. I just talked to somebody here who's has issue with their ex-husband, and they have to go to court on Monday. And their ex-husband is fighting, after all these years, fighting for full custody, and she had full custody. So I advised her to begin to see the love principle in her ex-husband, to see the intention behind what he's doing, right? He thinks that what he's doing is for the best of the kids, or that's my ability. But here's the thing. If she goes into that court hearing with that motherfucker, I can't believe he's doing this to me, and having all these conversations, we've all done it. You're in conflict with somebody. Tell me you haven't done this. When you're in conflict with somebody and then they come into your mind and you start having a conversation with them in your head. Yeah, I would tell them this, and then I'm going to tell them that, and you know this, and da-da-da-da. Well, of course I did, right? You have that whole argument with that person in your head, right? I've done it too. I want to just shout out Emmanuel, Gwen, Robin, Petra, yes, Deb, hello. Thank you, Dina. Thank you, Maya. Hello. Okay, so you've had that conversation. Now, feel the energetic difference. When you start, like, you're doing okay, that person who you're in conflict with comes into your mind, and then you start to have that conversation with them. It's like a downward energetic spiral, isn't it? Like, you just start to, you feel closed, you can feel your heart closing, you can feel the energy getting heavy. Now, when, yeah, those Sybil moments, exactly. Hi, Sybil. So that's a dissociated personality, right? When there's trauma was so profound that you have to dissociate into various personalities. That's a real extreme example of the very thing that's going on. We dissociate. We become another person. So rather than, so we disassociate by bringing these negative thoughts, not negative, but this conversation about the other person or about the situation. When we have that, we feel that energetic spiral. Now, stop for a moment and see the energetic difference when I now anchor into the truth that my intention, when I set an intention, I want the best and highest individual and collective good out of this situation. And now I can see the aspiration of my ex-husband's activities, even though they might be causing me some problems. I can see maybe the intention, and then I can begin speaking. I love this exercise, my higher self to their higher self. So I know that you want the best for our children, and I know that you think this is the way to go. And I want us to be great examples for our kids of what a mature masculinity and a mature femininity is, what a mature mother figure and father figure, the mature father and the mature mother expression of that energy. This is what I'm anchoring. You start to speak to them about the aspiration. You start to speak to them about the inspiration in your mind, heart to heart, soul to soul, higher self to higher self. Watch your energy shift. And if everything indeed is frequency and vibration, then you are creating an energetic match for that possibility to emerge. For we know Schrodinger's cat says that infinite is a cat dead or alive in that box, right? That's a quantum physics experiment. We don't know if the cat is dead or alive until we open the box. In other words, we don't know what possibility exists until a choice is made. So let's not make the choice. Let's not preempt the choice with our negative downward spiral talk about the situation, blaming, shaming, worrying, doubt, fear. All those can serve. They can serve us because if you catch yourself in fear, doubt, worry, lack, not enoughness, insufficiency, it's a call. Wake up. Okay, let me shift. That's how they serve. But if you pitch a tent there and start, going on a road trip into fear, doubt, worry, not enoughness, then then I just saw Maya revive the cat. And hi, Lisa. Shout out to Lisa, Gwen. So the first thing, example one, is you have an issue with somebody in your life. Notice the energetic downward spiral when you start to have that bitch session in your mind about them, and see the shift that you are creating a vibrational match. You're creating a vibrational match when you begin to speak to the aspiration, the inspiration, the truth, the best and highest good, higher self to higher self, heart to heart. You begin to have that conversation. Now, I'm not saying that you just do that and don't take care of yourself. Like I told her, you got to go to court. You are in this world. You're in the world of court. You got to make sure your stuff's in order, your lawyer's in line. You have to have your ducks in a row, everything, right? You're preparing on that level because we're in this dimensional world. And you're also working on another dimension. Interdimensional work, baby. That's what we're talking about. And watch the shift as you work on another dimension, as you bring an energy that's higher vibrational frequency. The law of entrainment says that a lower frequency is raised to the higher frequency, but the higher frequency can't be diminished to the lower frequency. You're going to raise the whole situation. Example 2. This is also the same thing about realizing real love, the consistent and persistent application of real love. Brooke's asking, how do I save this video? Oh, love. You can always go. It's going to be posted on YouTube. You can come back to the Rhythmia Facebook page. You can go to my John Jacob Mubarak. It's on there. Any place. Go to YouTube and type in Walking the Path. And the title was this Real Love, and it'll come up. Or you can go to Rhythmia's Facebook page or Rhythmia's YouTube channel. So example 2. When your day starts off bad. I had this the other day. Like everything just started going wrong. Rodney Dangerfield tells a great joke about this. He goes, oh, I got up this morning. Let me see. It goes, I got up this morning and I went to put on my shirt and the button fell off. Boom. And then I went to pick up my briefcase and the handle fell off. Boy, I'm afraid to go to the bathroom. Did I tell it right? Right. He got up in the morning, went to button his shirt, the button fell off. He went to pick up his briefcase, the handle fell off. He doesn't want to go to the bathroom because he doesn't want his schlonger to fall off. Okay. Oh, I get no respect. Oh, Rodney Dangerfield. Favorite Rodney Dangerfield. When I was a kid, I was so ugly. When I played in the sandbox, the cat tried to cover me up. Boy, okay. So you start off the day. All of a sudden you spill your coffee, you wake up late, you're on the wrong side of the bed, you didn't get to meditate, blah, blah, blah. And I had this happen the other day. One of those days the button fell off, the briefcase handle fell off, and I was afraid that the rest of the day was going to go like that, right? And I noticed myself sort of locking in like, well, it's going to be one of those days, setting the tone for the day. What is the story we're telling ourselves about this day? And we can write a new story. Not just one to be positive, like, okay, everything's fine. No, but the story is, what do I want to shift? What am I calling forth today? It's not just about being positive, right? Because I can be positive that life sucks. It's about affirming something. So how do I shift that day? Is that I'm going to tell myself a different story. Like, okay, these things happen. They don't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. And it doesn't mean anything that it doesn't mean anything. That's from the Landmark Forum. It doesn't mean anything. And it doesn't mean anything that it doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. It just means I spilled my coffee. It just means my button fell off. It doesn't mean the rest of the day is going to go like that. Let me shift that energy. So one of the ways that that we can begin to shift that energy is when we create a new story. The new story is more about like first anchor in, what do I want this day to be like? What do I want this day? What do I want this day to be like? Well, all right, well, this day would be great if my car started, I got to work on time, and everything went smoothly at work, and I did a great presentation, and I got out of, I left the office early, and I got to play with my kids, and okay, you name all those things. Now, we can't control the outcome of the day, but we can set an intention. So in other words, if I said I want all those things to happen, that would be sort of like saying I want to go to New York. But if I set an intention that's broader than those specific things, that's like saying I want to go east. And there's always more east. So instead of, so first I know what would be a great day. I name all those things. And then I say, okay, that's already done. The day's done. All those things have happened. Everything happened just the way I wanted it to. How am I feeling? What are the qualities? Oh my God, I'm feeling at peace. I'm feeling accomplished. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling invigorated and vital. I'm feeling so grateful, right? So now, rather than talking about the specific things that I want to occur during the day, I replace that with the feelings, the feeling tone. Feeling tone meaning the vibration of gratitude, of wonder, of awe, of accomplishment, of peace, of health and vitality, right? So now I say, my intention for today is wonder, awe, peace, health, and vitality. Bam. Now, no matter what happens, maybe all those things don't happen that I wanted to happen, but as long as I'm experiencing, if at the end of the day, I'm experiencing wonder, awe, peace, health, and vitality, that's a good day. And it leaves open a broader possibility. We're not telling God how to, God, my day will be good when all these things happen. It's like, my day will be good when I'm feeling these qualities. And then you feel them now. You imagine it already done, because here's the truth. The universe doesn't hear us. God doesn't hear us. Mother Ayahuasca doesn't hear us. It feels us. It feels us. It's all vibration and frequency. So I've got to feel into it. So I got to feel what it's like at the end of the day, project myself there, feel that feeling. It's already done. Oh my God, I am. How would I feel? It's already done. All of it's done. How do I feel? Feel that, and then set your intention based on the qualities. So here's the key to intention setting. It's affirmative, not positive, affirmative. It's in the present tense. It's not like I am going to, my intention is going to be, no, it's my intention is health, vitality, peace, wonder, awe, gratitude. That's it. Present tense, already done. So it's present tense, affirmative, and quality based. Let's say a shout out to some more folks that came in. Jorge, love you, brother. Love you, love you, love you. Brooke, and so good to see Henny from the Netherlands. Welcome, Maya. Mercury, my friend Jen Sadini says, I hate it when Mercury's in Gatorade. Well, it doesn't matter if Mercury's in Gatorade, because we can rise above that. I mean, there's some real physical things going on, but again, I'm setting the intention. Set a course for adventure, your mind on a new romance, right? I'm going to set an intention for adventure in my mind on love, right? And no matter what, if Mercury's in Gatorade or retrograde or whatever it is, I'm good. I'm good. Let's see. Shout out to Heidi. Thank you, Monique. What do I want to shift? Yes, Gwen, hello. Michael, great, great, great. Henny, Gwen, so much. Okay, is there anything else? Oh, lastly, is when you set that intention, there's a vibrational match for it in the universe. This is a quantum physics superposition. And the theory of superposition means that a subatomic particle, I had to write it down, the subatomic particle can be in multiple states at the same time until it's measured. A subatomic particle can be in multiple places, multiple states at the same time until it's measured. That's why when we set an intention, we don't want to say it has to be, I do a good presentation, I get out of work early, and I win the lottery. Then I'm happy, right? No, if winning the lottery is mine, then what's the quality that I feel? Abundance. So now I'm going to set the intention for abundance. Leave it broad, because the possibilities exist in multiple places until we name it. In the movie, What the Bleep Do We Know, Joe Dispenza talks about a guy standing on a basketball court. And he's got his back to the basketball court. The basketball court is behind him. And there's all these basketball bouncing, and he can hear them all over. He can hear it all over. And that the basketball could be any place on that court. His back's to it. The potentiality is that basketball can be any place on the court until he turns around and sees it, until it is measured. So why we set a broad intention is because we don't to limit the possibility or the potential. I keep it broad. I'm not going to New York. I'm going east. Yeah. Ooh, I gotta remember this. This is good stuff. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, love. Thank you, beauty. Thank you, divine intelligence. I think that's our talk for today. Marcia, Gwen, Heidi, Venna, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone who typed in and said hello. I'm so appreciative. I'm so grateful. And I look forward to seeing you all on Monday for Rise Up Evolutionary Conversations. And stay tuned. We got Kim Parashakti's doing the Our Love Talk on Friday. Kim Terranova's doing I Got My Miracle on Saturday. It's so good. Come see us at Rhythmia. I love you. I'm grateful for you. I know that you are guided by an infinite intelligence, sourced by an infinite power, and guarded by an infinite love. And so it is. Peace and richest blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone.